Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Last time I did a review on episode 43 of Maîtresse and marié. So today I'm back for episode 44 because that cliffhanger that's got me thirsty. So let's go. So let's just pick up on where we left off in episode 43. And that is when Jalika came to Biram and Jor's house with such a rage, and she started beating up Jor. And honestly, I think that Jor definitely deserved that because of what she did to Amina. Because what people don't understand is that that children are actually really innocent in such situations. And I think that in certain cultures, or you know, that it can be really easy to have access to other people's children. Because for example, Biram, he married Jor way too soon, and he was never actually the person that took care of his own daughter. So Jor had full-time access to their daughter, and she could have done whatever, you know. So yeah, I think that's really important for people to know, that children don't have anything to do with it, and it's just between the adults. And I think that Jalika did a great job. And yeah, what I can say that I really hated about the episode was, I mean, of this scene, is that the grandmother, so Biram's mom, was actually pushing Amina aside so that she could say like, this child is going nowhere and everything. But I think that Biram's mom really has a problem with Jalika's dad because of whatever he did. And I think that she just has this resentment against Jalika. And I don't even think that's, you know, fair, because she's actually doing what Jor is doing to Amina. She's doing it actually to her own like niece. And do you remember in one of the first episodes when Noura and Amina were actually playing at their grandmother's house, and the grandmother did not have anything nice to say about Amina at all, because she was saying like, in Wolof, she was saying like, yeah, it's that side of the family that she comes from, which relates to her own brother. So I think that was really bad. But what I did love, this is the first time I love something that Biram has done, which is actually, you know, telling his own mom like, no, let her just go with her mom. Because at this time, like, Jalika was right. And I'm also glad that she actually listened to Mummy, which is the bigger girl, who gave her the advice to, you know, get your evidence together and then you can get them back, but in your way. Because Biram is only gonna see that you're jealous of Jor and that you're going to, you know, make up all these lies just to, you know, have them, you know, separated or something, like being petty, like we talked about in the previous episode. So the next scene I want to talk about is when Rokhaya was actually with Maki's mom. And what I think is weird is that Maki's mom was the one who was actually talking to Maki about how she thinks that Rokhaya actually loves her son. And the way she responded to the mother about Jalika was also really as if she's already an enemy. And I do not trust this girl at all. Also, how she talked about that Jalika already has children, and not just one, already two. It's like, no, it's like, sis, we already know that you want Maki for yourself. So I'm really excited to see how that's gonna pan out, because Jalika has been through so much already, and I don't think she deserves another heartbreak. And I really think she deserves to be loved. Like, even if it's not by Maki, it can be by someone else, but they're already really invested in each other. So I think it would be like another heartbreak for her, and I really don't think she deserves it, because I think there are so many other people that could deserve like a heartbreak, like Sheikh, Biram, Jor. Like, why Jalika again? Like, hasn't she suffered enough? She is like the queen of Munyal and the queen of suffering. Like, so the next thing I want to talk about is the scene where Mariam was really rude to Lala and her daughter Noura, because Noura was just, you know, telling this old Senegalese joke about a man and a cow or a goat, and her mom was actually listening and paying attention and everything. And then Mariam came and she sat with them, but Noura didn't, you know, respond to her. But I think that what Mariam said was really rude, not only to Noura but also like kind of disrespecting her mom in her own presence, which is like not even necessary. So what she basically said was like, yeah, and Noura, you are always talking while you're supposed to be eating, and it's not normal to eat and talk at the same time, and your posture is not right. Haven't you been raised well and everything? But the mom was right there, and I think that was not necessary, and I think it was just like this nasty streak of Mariam. And honestly, I have to tell you guys that I don't like Mariam at all anymore, because she's been taking it too far. Like, she was at the end, she was already like saying like, yeah, and if your dad comes home, I'm gonna talk about it with him and this and that. And I'm like, it's not even necessary. First of all, it's not your child. Second of all, the child should not suffer because you don't like Lala or what Lala has done or whatever, because at the end of the day, don't forget, that's also the child of your husband that you just got married to. So it's not necessary. So the next thing I can talk about automatically is how how Mariam was so rude when Lala was actually working and having her guests. Because at first it looks like they're friends or something, but it's just, you know, to save face in front of, you know, the guests. But later, Mariam actually invaded, you know, the party, because it's just something Lala organized, because she sells clothing, like custom-made clothing. So she probably had a few clients over to look at the new collection or anything. And then they also had the guy doing the tum-tum and making music just to get like a vibe out there. And she had her friend Philly there. And what I didn't like was that Mariam was actually, you know, also singing along, because it's not her thing. And secondly, they're not friends. Like, it would be different if they would at least have this, you know, this diplomatic relationship, because like first wife and second wife. But no, she had to ruin everything. And at the end of it, she also had to, you know, be twerking a little bit. And I'm like, oh my god, no, don't do that. And I'm sure that in Senegal right now, when that episode aired, everything blew up. I'm sure of it. Like, I miss most of the things, but I'm sure that blew up because they don't like that stuff. They don't like that stuff. So what is also kind of sad is the scene. It's like the cliffhanger where you see that whatever happened before with Mariam taking over her party and everything, that it actually does hurt Lala. And I don't think she deserves it either, because when you look at the joy and, you know, how alive she was at the beginning of the episodes, then you don't think that she actually deserves it. And you might think that she actually accepted Mariam as Sheikh's second wife because she loves Sheikh, but also because she probably does not want Noura to grow up, for example, with divorced parents. But maybe it's also because she is not as strong as Jalika is. And honestly, I did not think Jalika was that strong. But anyways, what hurt me the most was how Noura actually heard everything. thank you guys for watching. Let me know how you think about Maitresse, what you think of episode 44. If you've watched it, if you haven't watched it already, go to Marodi TV, watch it, look it up, and let me know below what your thoughts are on these episodes. Are there any things that in your culture are similar to what you've seen in Maitresse? If you're not from Senegal, if you are from Senegal, maybe you can share your experiences about, you know, monogamy and what it means to be a divorced woman in Senegal, because I know there's a lot of stigma when you're divorced, because girl, I've heard so many stories, but maybe we can talk about it the next time. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Ciao.